All right, so let's talk about vacation spots. You've got your Parises, your Romes, your Cancuns. They're great, predictable. You know you're going to see a big tower, some old ruins, a guy trying to sell you a timeshare on the beach. But what if you're looking for a little more spice? A destination that doesn't just offer sightseeing, but a full-blown character-building experience. A place where the travel brochures don't tell you the whole story. They haven't figured out how to write it yet. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Somalia. Your mother warned you. Your financial advisor warned you. Probably the State Department warned you. I know what you're thinking. Isn't Somalia that place from the news? Yes, it is. The country with the world's most dedicated maritime entrepreneurs, and a government playing a decades-long game of musical chairs. That's the mainstream media narrative. They focus on the boring stuff. What they don't tell you, breathtaking coastlines. A culture so rich in poetry, it puts Shakespeare to shame. A sense of humor so dry, it makes the Sahara look like a water park. The ultimate off-the-beaten-path destination. So far off the path, in fact, that the path is more of a suggestion. Somalia has the world's most enthusiastic airport welcome committee. Forget a simple welcome sign. In Mogadishu, your arrival is often greeted by a team of friendly gentlemen with very large sunglasses and even larger security details. They're not celebrities, they're your personal welcome wagon, ensuring your trip from the airport to your hotel is memorable. Like having the Secret Service, but for your vacation. They take your safety very seriously. So seriously, you might not be allowed to go anywhere without them. Ultimate VIP experience. You're the star, and the plot involves avoiding unexpected action scenes. The national animal is the camel, a multi-purpose vehicle. In America, wealth equals sign house car stock portfolio. In Somalia, wealth equals sign camels. Camels, majestic, slightly grumpy, original all-terrain vehicle, mobile bank account, walking dairy aisle. Forget horsepower, camel power. A man with a large herd equals sign Somali Jeff Bezos. Somali traffic laws equal sign friendly suggestions. U.S. roads, stop signs, traffic lights, lanes. In Mogadishu, the rule is inshallah, if God wills it. Longest coastline in mainland Africa. Exclusive, practically deserted beaches. Pristine white sand, turquoise waters, and nobody there. The national dish is basically spaghetti, a delicious souvenir from a very confused Italian occupation. When you think of Somali food, you might imagine exotic spices and ancient recipes, and you'd be right. But you'd also find a whole lot of spaghetti, or basto. The Italians came, they saw, and they left behind their pasta. Now Somalis have made it their own, often serving it with a rich, savory stew and maybe a banana on the side for good measure. Yes, a banana. Don't question it. It's a culinary fusion that asks the question, what happens when you combine Italian carbs with East African flavors and a dash of tropical fruit? Somalis have perfected the art of making tea so sweet it counts as a dessert. Forget your herbal infusions and your decaf nonsense. In Somalia, tea, or sha, is a way of life. It's brewed strong, spiced with cardamom, cinnamon, and ginger, and then infused with a truly heroic amount of sugar. The most popular breakfast food is a giant savory pancake that doubles as a plate. Meet the kanjiro or laksuk, a spongy, slightly sour flatbread that is the cornerstone of Somali breakfast. It looks like a giant pancake, but it's savory and full of tiny holes perfect for soaking up delicious sauces. It's the most efficient food delivery system ever invented. For a truly authentic experience, try camel milk. It's an acquired taste. Somalia is a world leader in mobile money, making your credit card look like an ancient relic. You might think a country with a history of instability would be behind on technology. You would be wrong. Somalia has one of the most advanced and widely used mobile money systems on the planet. People pay for everything from groceries to taxi rides with a few taps on their old-school Nokia phones. Before they were famous for boats, Somalis were famous for poetry. Long before the world knew them for their maritime activities, Somalis were known as the nation of poets. Poetry isn't just an art form here. It's a fundamental part of the culture, used for everything from political debates and social commentary to declaring love. A great poet was a rock star, a politician, and a journalist all rolled into one. The country's primary export is not what you think. It's livestock. Millions of camels, sheep, and goats are exported every year, especially to the Gulf states. This isn't just a business, it's an ancient tradition. The entire culture revolves around the well-being of these animals. It's the original stock market, where your assets are fluffy, have 4 legs, and occasionally try to eat your shirt. Somalia has a thriving and completely unofficial market for everything. Need a new phone? A spare car part from a 1998 Toyota? A can of imported tuna? Head to the Bakara market in Mogadishu? So here's something interesting. Small talk is considered a waste of time. Somalis get straight to the point. In the US, you might start with the weather. Nice day, isn't it? In Somalia, that's seen as wasted oxygen. Are you married? How many children do you have? Why are you here? Not an interrogation, a social shortcut. Now, the national sport isn't soccer, it's debating. Soccer is popular, but debating is the pastime. Somalis love to argue about politics, religion, poetry, the price of camels. Debates are loud, passionate, full of dramatic gestures. Telling a good story beats strict facts. Storytelling is paramount. Stories entertain more than inform. This means details get a little embellished. The fish gets a little bigger. The journey gets a little longer. The hero gets a little braver. It's not lying, it's artistry. Finally, no personal space in a crowded minibus. Expect to get cozy with fellow passengers. The American personal bubble doesn't apply. The goal? Fit as many people as possible in one vehicle. You'll share a seat. You'll likely share your life story. It's public transport meets human Tetris. Somalia has unique wildlife you won't see anywhere else, assuming you can find it. The country is home to some incredibly rare species, like the Somali wild ass, the dibitag antelope. These aren't your typical safari animals. They are masters of camouflage, living in some of the most remote and inaccessible parts of the country. So, while Kenya has the big 5, Somalia has the hard-to-find 5. The coral reefs are some of the most pristine in the world, mainly because no one has been there to ruin them yet. The Somali coast is home to vibrant, untouched coral reefs teeming with marine life. Because of the country's turbulent history, these underwater ecosystems have been spared mass tourism, pollution, and overfishing. For the handful of divers who have explored these waters, it's like discovering a secret garden. It's a beautiful, fragile paradise waiting in one of the world's most unlikely places. The concept of a national park is a bit fluid. Somalia has designated several national parks, but don't expect visitor centers, paved roads, or park rangers telling you not to feed the animals. These are vast, wild areas protected more by their remoteness than by official regulations. A trip to a Somali national park is a true adventure. The most dangerous animal you're likely to encounter is a goat with a bad attitude. They are everywhere, in the cities, on the roads, and some of them have a serious swagger. Somalia was once ruled by a guy who tried to replace the Somali language with a new script he invented himself. In the 1970s, military dictator Siad Barre decided the Latin script wasn't good enough. He tried to force everyone to use a complicated new script. It failed. The people said no and kept the old script. It's a perfect example of Somali resilience. You can't change a whole language after a creative afternoon. There's a pile of old Soviet tanks rusting on a beach. Locals now use them as a playground. On the outskirts of Mogadishu is Jazeera Beach. It's a beautiful spot, popular with families. It's also a graveyard for Cold War hardware. Kids climb rusted tanks and use them as diving boards. Instruments of war repurposed for fun and laughter. A testament to finding joy in extraordinary circumstances. The ancient city of Apone was a major trading hub for the Roman Empire. Somalis were trading internationally long before Europe. Centuries before London or Paris. Egypt, Rome, Persia, India. They exported frankincense, myrrh, spices. They were key players in the ancient global economy. While some ancestors chased sheep, Somali merchants made deals with Roman senators. A long overlooked history. A center of commerce and culture for millennia. They were globalized before it was cool. The most shocking fact of all, Somalis have an incredible sense of humor about their own situation. You might think they'd be somber and defeated, but you'd be wrong. They possess a sharp, resilient, often dark sense of humor. They joke about power outages. They joke about chaotic politics. They joke about daily struggles. Their wit is disarming and inspiring. So there you have it, Somalia. Not the vacation in glossy magazines. No all-inclusive resorts, no tourist traps, definitely no guided bus tours. It challenges you. It confuses you. It may scare you. But it rewards you with depth of culture, richness of history, a level of human resilience like nowhere else. It gets under your skin and stays with you. A story of contrasts, beauty, hardship, chaos, community. Traveling Somalia isn't checking sites off a list. It's experiencing a different way of life, more raw, more real, more intense. Maybe think about Somalia. The real Somalia is out there waiting to surprise you.